Hello again, everybody. Hope you had a nice break. I sure did. I was super busy, running late as usual. I'm starting to see how that just happens. Just happens. You don't want it to happen, it just happens. So I see we don't have too many people in here, only a couple in chat, which is perfectly fine. Mustang, good to see you. And Carol, thanks for coming back. Colleen, hello. And Melissa is joining me. How was your day, Melissa? You good? Everything good?
Yeah, it was a good day.
I gotta watch when you mute certain things because I never know. I never know when you're muted, and I keep forgetting to mute my screen. I think we've got the echo problem sorted. It's just a matter of me remembering to mute, unmute, all the different things. Hey, Kaylee, Matt is a catter, and Cindy Sperry, good to see you. So there are some things, not I don't think anything new. There was a little bit of a sheriff update today in the Nancy Guthrie case. Well, I won't, but Brian will explain the update to everybody. And then I've had like a lot of people ask me why I'm not talking about Savannah Guthrie's interview with the Epstein survivors in, I believe it was in 2019. She did an interview. I got to tell you, it's not easy to find that full interview, but I did find a 6-minute piece of it, and I think it will be good to talk about. And we can speculate about a possible connection to maybe a motive. And then I had somebody reach out to me with a photograph of what they did was they kind of played with the contrast and stuff in the not the video, the one with the backpack, but the one that was taken before the photo. It played around with the contrast a little bit just to see if there could be a little bit of clarity on some, like maybe shape of the face and stuff like that. Anyways, they sent me this picture and I will show it and we'll talk about it. I'm not saying this is a fact and I'm not promoting it, but I'll show it because why not? And then what else? Oh, the was a little bit I don't want to say it was funny, but obviously the what is it called? I can't remember exactly what it's called. Just give me a second. I will find out. Oh, where'd all my links go? Um, oh, it's on this page.
Hey guys, so I'm outside.
Shh, Brian, no. Um, man, I knew it, and I can't remember. Where the depositions where people are being made to testify in front of Congress, basically. And we know Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton both did theirs yesterday, I want to say. And in any case, it was no groundbreaking information, but I think, and I know some people don't like Megyn Kelly, and that's perfectly fine, but she did a really good kind of roundup of of what that was with those two. So we're gonna watch that in a little bit. But first, like I said, I want Brian Enton to explain the sheriff's updates today. So actually, because I just had to redo all that, I'm going to look at Charmaine using my head, try to stay ahead of any sound issues I might have. I'm going to reshare this, and then we're going to listen to Brian's update. Is this the one? This is the one. All right. So, just the facts, ma'am. Good to see you. And Marie, thanks for being here. All right. So, not a lot of people here, but that's fine. They can do the replay. I'm going to mute myself and play this update.
So kind of interesting. They're still out here right now. The sheriff gave NBC News an interview. You've been out. Hey guys, so I'm outside Nancy Guthrie's house. There's been some action today. First of all, there were some people that showed up that seemed like they were maybe doing some work on the house, locksmiths. They were by the front door of the house. They were then at the back of the house. There's also these private searchers that have shown up with metal detectors, going up and down the street outside Nancy's house. They said they were maybe looking for jewelry or a bracelet. So kind of interesting. They're still out here right now. The sheriff gave NBC News an interview. We've been asking for an interview, but he hasn't responded. But he did give NBC News an interview, said that he does not think it's a cold case, that he thinks they'll solve it. A lot of stuff he said previously. He said they're looking at hundreds of thousands of cars, which is kind of interesting when he was asked specifically about that new video from 2.5 miles away. Um, that came out last week. He said we're looking at that plus hundreds of thousands of other cars, which is a really big number. And with the backpack, remember the backpack that they said was bought at Walmart? He's now saying that they're considering that the suspect may have gotten it secondhand. So maybe he didn't actually buy it at Walmart, but bought it secondhand after someone else already bought it at Walmart. So that was kind of the update from his interview. I'll keep you guys posted with anything else that happens today.
And also about the backpack, did they never consider possibly that this guy's wife, mom, somebody bought it for him, you know? But having said that, if it was a backpack that he just had laying around his house from before, is it possible that there could be transfer DNA somewhere in Nancy's house from that backpack? That's quite possible.
Hey guys, so I'm
Oops. Shh.
outside Nancy Guthrie's house. There's been some action today. First of all,
Why? Just wouldn't stop talking. I don't think, and just so we know, the metal detectors, so there was a professional searcher that Mark the Shark and Criminal Network Alex bumped into today just by, I mean, she was probably watching a live stream and saw where they were. They were out searching this morning, and she probably went and tracked them down. But then once they did hook up, they decided to go get her metal detector and go back to Nancy's and do just some searching. And so that's who that was. That man was Criminal Network, and Mark the Shark was right there as well. And I believe JLR was also in the vicinity. He was part of that whole thing. So searching should have been done weeks ago for sure. And I mean, these are YouTubers that are out searching, so officials should have been searching a lot sooner. What are your thoughts, Melissa?
I mean, I don't have an issue with people going out and searching, whether it's YouTubers or whatever. I mean, officials, yeah, sure, they should have been out weeks ago. We're on what, day 31 here. But I find it odd that they have a metal detector and they're going around right there in front of her property. That just seemed weird to me, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seemed a little weird to me.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what they were looking for, but like I said, I know it was YouTubers, and it was a professional searcher who found them while they were somewhere else searching. and they decided to go back to Nancy's house with that. So, hey, Ron, good to see you. Something she's buried there on her property? I mean, that's bizarre. That's a little wild. I don't think so. But who am I? Like, I'm nobody, literally. So this is the photo that I was telling you guys about. Somebody played with the contrast and the color and such, and they think they can make out facial features. I'm not sold on it. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I don't know. What do you think, Melissa?
I think it's really dangerous to be manipulating photos, and I don't see how you can really make anything out of that. So I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah, we kind of learned that lesson in Delphi, didn't we, with Bridge Guy trying to make out his face, even though, it was a still shot from a video shot from dozens of feet away and very shaky video at that. So there was absolutely no making out his face. There was no chance we were going to, but people still did it. And turns out not one of them was even close. So there's that. I said I'd show it, and so here it is. I don't know it's gonna add value to anything, but thank you so much for sending it. If you're watching, I appreciate the effort. And the person that sent it is not the person that um was messing with the contrast and stuff. That was somebody completely different who sent it to them. And I can't remember what it was I was watching. Actually, it might have been Joseph Morris that I was watching, and he was discussing and he was showing somebody else discussing the exact opposite of what we all decided last night, that the family's visit to the memorial site, Tommaso's appearance did not match the guy on the surveillance. They seemed to think it did. Like there were a lot of people who thought the exact opposite that we all decided last night. So that kind of blew me away. Watched the replays of your last couple Jack and Lily lives. You know what? I'm reaching, I'm doing my best. It is what it is. But thanks for rewatching. Paul Crimo, the guy without the backpack, was that a credible source? Yes. It could be the same individual, but it was on two separate nights. And I heard today, I think it was Brian Enton actually said today that it was the day before. So it would have been January 30th, the guy without the backpack. No telling what time, obviously at night, but we know that Nancy had some kind of a get together at her house on the Saturday night. I want to say, was it Saturday? January 30th that night. So maybe the guy showed up there and realized that there was a house full of ladies. And then the video is from the 31st. So we're still thinking. Annie and Dominic, not changing my opinion. It's for the will. So are you thinking that there's something untoward going on with Annie and Dominic? Is that what you're thinking, Marie? Okay, let's have a look-see here. Like I said, and I think a lot of us know that Savannah did this interview with Epstein survivors back in the day. The way back, 6 years ago, this was posted, and this was NBC, obviously. So I've had a lot of people ask why nobody is talking about this, and quite literally, it's because I didn't make the connection, right? So I'm willing to connect it. I'm willing to watch it. I'm willing to talk. I'm not shying away from anything. So let's watch it and then we'll talk about it. If it's for the will, then where's Nancy? Hmm. I think it's a sicko loner who is obsessed with Savannah. I lean that way. Pretty wild that this has not been solved with the FBI resources and being an upscale neighborhood. Yeah. But so upscale that cameras and their properties are so far back and so private that cameras don't pick anything up. So I think it was to silence Savannah. Epstein connection? Were you one of the ones that was asking why nobody was talking about this? Because we're going to talk about it right now. Let's watch. Like I said, it's really difficult to find this. You go to NBC to the source to get this video, the full, and it says the video is expired. Even the news article is not available anymore, which I started to raise my eyebrow a little bit. I was like, what? Why? We're like, we can dig up like really, really archived old news stories, but why this one? So, anyway, let's watch.
This is everything. The only solace for me is that when a group of people who've experienced trauma of this kind come together united against a common enemy, there's a very special bond between us all.
A painful bond shared among these 6 women sitting together for the first time for an exclusive interview with NBC News.
I find it very comforting to be here.
Marika Chartuni, Anushka DeGiorgio, and Rachel K. Benavides sharing their stories about Epstein for the first time on television.
I think the nature of this kind of abuse means that you're conditioned to be silent, to be isolated, secretive, and shameful.
I feel like, it was a big game for him, and we were the pieces of his game.
And you're like, I'm just not going to say anything because that's what he told me to do.
The women all have familiar stories of grooming, promises, and then sexual assault.
I can relate to pretty much every person sitting here next to me.
Virginia Roberts Giuffre says Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell recruited her one summer when she was working as a locker room attendant at Mar-a-Lago. In her first broadcast interview, Virginia tells NBC News what she has previously alleged in court filings, that Epstein directed her to also have sex with a number of powerful men, among them Britain's Prince Andrew.
He was an abuser. He was a participant.
Virginia says she was 17 when this photo was taken with the prince in Maxwell's London townhome, next to the bathroom where she says he sexually abused her.
What happened? The first time in London, I was so young. Ghislaine woke me up in the morning and said, "You're going to meet a prince today." I didn't know at that point that I was going to be trafficked to that prince. And then that night, Prince Andrew came to her house in London, and we went out to Club Tramp. Prince Andrew got me alcohol. It was in the VIP section. I'm pretty sure it was vodka. Prince Andrew was like, "Let's dance together." And I was like, okay. And we leave Club Tramp, and I hop in the car with Ghislaine and Jeffrey. And Ghislaine said, "He's coming back to the house, and I want you to do for him what you do for Epstein." I couldn't believe it.
Virginia says the abuse moved from the bathroom to a bedroom.
He wasn't rude or anything about it. He said, "Thank you," and some kind of soft sentiments like that, and left. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that even royalty were involved.
She says Prince Andrew abused her 2 more times, once in New York in Epstein's mansion, and again at his Virgin Islands estate.
Prince Andrew, of course, denies that this ever happened.
He denies that it ever happened, and he's going to keep denying that it ever happened. But he knows the truth, and I know the truth.
What do you say if people think this is about money for you, that you're trying to get money and have gotten money?
Well, unfortunately, there's this horrible law called statute of limitations. My lawyer said the way to get Ghislaine Maxwell held accountable. The way to get Jeffrey Epstein held accountable is through them saying I'm a liar, which I'm not. So it's called a defamation suit.
Like all others she's named, Prince Andrew has denied the allegations. Buckingham Palace telling NBC News in a statement, it is emphatically denied that the Duke of York had any form of sexual contact or relationship with Virginia Roberts. Any claim to the contrary is false and without foundation. Maxwell has not been criminally charged and has repeatedly denied the accusations against her.
What does justice look like to you now? Justice now is holding accountable the perpetrators that helped him and participated with him, and encouraging more people to come forward so we can try to put this puzzle together and understand how it happened. How did this happen for so long? How did he get away with it?
These are questions many of these women have asked, especially.
So, what are your thoughts so far? Because she raised good questions, the same questions I think we all raised back in 2011. Was this just about getting money? Because she had said, and most of these girls had said they went willingly, right? It wasn't like they didn't know they were being paid to massage a grown, like an adult man, but it turned into something different. And I don't know at that age that you would think of I'm being trafficked or, I'm being assaulted, you know. I just question whether or not they would even realize what was happening to them. What do you think, Melissa?
Mm. I've had a lot of different thoughts on this, but Savannah kind of looks like if you put all them women together with the light hair and the skinny face. So I just wanted to point that out. But I'm not saying that the women are lying, because there's too many people that have come forward and said pretty much the exact same thing, right? For me to say that any of them are lying, and I wouldn't call a victim a liar in the first place. But I have a hard time connecting the fact that Savannah did this interview 6 years ago and is now has a missing mom. I feel like if it was something connected to Epstein, it would be her. It would be her that's missing, or it would be her that was hurt, not her mother. Like, I have a hard time putting that together. I mean, unless somebody can explain to me how Savannah's mom going missing has something to do with what happened 6 years ago, that would have to be connected for me to see a connection.
Rumor has it, though, that she was set to interview more survivors coming up, but also, just like Spare Time said, her ex-husband also had a connection, and I can Google it while we're watching this, because I can't remember off the top of my head what it is, but her ex-husband was connected to Epstein as well. So let's just continue this, and I'll Google what that connection was real quick.
Especially now, after Epstein's suicide in jail, awaiting trial on child sex trafficking and conspiracy charges.
I feel let down, that he was able to commit suicide. Yeah, it was really upsetting. They failed us before. Don't fail us again. Exactly. That's all we're asking. Take us serious. We matter. You matter. You matter, and you matter. And for all the girls out there, you all matter too. Yes.
A message to other possible victims of Epstein still waiting in the shadows.
Jeffrey thought that we were disposable and he threw us all away. And look who's still standing.
There's something about seeing the group of women together with those shared stories that is incredibly compelling, as is Virginia's story.
The image itself is powerful,
Yeah.
and the words even more powerful.
Yeah, you can see Savannah's full conversation, a special dateline that is tonight at 10, 9 Central. And by the way, we are going to check in with Savannah in just a little bit and see how she's feeling in our next hour. She has come down with pneumonia, and we're going to talk to a doctor about what we can do about that.
I thought her voice sounded a little raspy. So, the social media machine says that I'll just pull it up so you can see I'm not making it up like I've ever been able to make up something that quickly in my life, but you never know nowadays. Let me just zoom it in. I'll see it. All right. Claims linking Savannah Guthrie's husband, Michael Feldman, directly to Jeffrey Epstein in the newly released Epstein files are largely based on unverified social media speculation, according to fact checkers. While social media users had pointed to a 2013 email in the documents mentioning a person named Michael Feldman and referenced the firm Feldman co founded, the Glover Park Group, there is no evidence this refers to Guthrie's husband, who is a public relations consultant and not a theoretical physicist, as described in the 2013 email. And his current firm, FGS Global, is not listed as a co conspirator in the documents. Searches of the digital Epstein files revealed a 2013 email from Michael Feldman, who identifies himself as a theoretical physicist, not the media consultant married to Guthrie. Misinformation and timing. The rumors intensified following the reported kidnapping of Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy, in February 2026, which occurred shortly after the release of the new Epstein-related documents. Glover Park Group mention a document in the latest trench mentions a communication where it is suggested that Epstein speak to someone at the Glover Park Group, a firm Feldman helped found in 2001, but this is a passing mention. There's no direct link. Fact-checking efforts have found no evidence that Savannah Guthrie's husband is involved in the Epstein case. He is a communications consultant who previously worked in the Clinton administration and is now partner at FGS Global. I don't know about that not being, I mean, it's a kind of a 6 degrees of separation, but that's far from no connection, considering how close Bill Clinton was to this whole thing, which leads us to our next shocker. Is it a shocker? I don't think it's a shocker. It's awful to say, but some of these marginalized girls from poor families were easily enticed to go on planes to beautiful islands with billionaires but that is what predators do, prey on the vulnerable, exactly. And that's why Epstein would get them to recruit their friends, more marginalized girls. Exactly. And just get them used to the lifestyle. And like, what 17-year-old girl with, absentee parents or addict parents or whatever wouldn't like $200 to rub a guy's shoulders? And that's probably what they thought they were going to do. But at what point do you think that becomes more than what they had agreed to? Then how do you get out? Or do you want out? Is the money too good? Is the lifestyle too far removed from what you're used to? I don't know. I think it's I don't know. So anyways, like I said, I know that people don't like Megyn Kelly, and I understand why. I get it. I don't mind her, but like I said, she did a really good kind of, because I mean, they're over 2 days, Bill and Hillary Clinton did their deposition or hours and hours. So I think Megan did a really good job of pointing out the more important parts. So bear with me. We're gonna watch it. You can't get out. Yeah. It's sad to think that this happened to so many girls and young women. So many. And to think that there was one interview that I saw the other day. Like she lived just down the street from where Epstein's, I don't know, he had a house in Palm Beach or something, or an apartment in Palm Beach, and she was raising her kids there. And it was, you know, 2016, 2017. She was raising her kids there, and she thought, my God, like my kids could be next. That's funny. I'm not, I'm not, I'm not a bit far right. Okay. I'm not. I'm not. But I don't hate Megyn Kelly. Plus, she agrees with Hillary Clinton in this. Like, get your pens and your papers. Like, she tells you to write it down. So we're we're gonna watch it just because she summarized it well, and it's 2 days worth of stuff that we just don't have time to watch all the stuff. And I truly don't have time to go through and pick out the stuff that matters. Megan's people was good enough to do it for her, so we're gonna take advantage of her hard work. Ron. Okay. Let's watch.
Let's start with SOT 51, where he was asked why Jeffrey Epstein would say, quote, he likes them young.
In the Epstein cases that Epstein said, you quote, like them young. Why would Epstein say that about you?
First of all, that's not true.
That's not true.
That I have any interest in underage.
I didn't say underage, I said young.
But it's still not true.
Is an intern young?
That's married anybody younger than I am.
Oh my gosh, brutal. Brutal. I'm so uncomfortable watching the whole thing. Is an intern young? Yes. That's, of course, why Jeffrey Epstein said you like him young. Don't make me show the picture again, Mr. President, of you leering at my friend's breasts when she was 20 years old at the Bombay Club in Washington, D.C. My pair of friends, we were all around 20 at the time, and they were in Washington, D.C., and so were you. You were still president. It was 1999, and you were leering down her blouse with your hand sneaking up the side on the side boob of my other friend. Okay, so Meg Florence and Abby Rittman might dispute your statement that you don't like them young. I saw it myself. In any event, there was that. Then he was asked about that viral hot tub moment that we all saw from the Epstein files, where you can see him. It's larger than a hot tub. It's like a bath, like one of those traditional Roman baths. It's like large, and you can swim around in. It bears more of a resemblance to a pool when you see the larger shots. And he was asked about this. Here's how that went. SOT 50.
Do you recall?
Spare time, have you seen this? Have you seen this? This is like you shouldn't laugh. You really shouldn't, but this man and his wife are just I just I don't even know what to say, but like it I feel bad because he's so old now, like he's just ancient now. But I mean, mm, didn't the Clintons have something to do with the files? He worked for the Clintons? Yes, ma'am. We're just going through. He is being, so there it is right there. The GOP Oversight Committee. This is Congress. they're deposing all of the people that they think should be deposed that were mentioned in the Epstein files. And so this is just like a short, Bill or Hillary Clinton went first 2 days ago, and then Bill Clinton's turn was yesterday, and it lasted all day. All day. He sure did. I shouldn't laugh, but there were a couple of times I was embarrassed for him. And I mean, we'll just he the he it gets worse. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it gets so much. I don't know if you want to call it better or worse, right? But here we go. Let's continue.
Details of this photo, recall the photo being taken.
No, I don't think I ever knew the photo was taken. This picture was taken in Brunei.
Were there other people in that pool or hot tub with you as well?
I don't think there's anybody in the hot tub. I didn't forgotten that there was anybody in the hot tub.
This photo, there's a girl over here. Is there someone?
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
But he's also asking in the pool area whether other
Yes,
individuals.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, so you don't know?
No, and then there were other people in the pool.
Okay, so do you remember who, were they under 18? Would you
No.
know? No.
Were they part of your traveling party? He's asking you.
Yes, they were, I think.
That's
I think
not
they were-
what they were asked. That was not what he's been asking. Like his lawyer is literally leading him, and I'm surprised it was allowed to go on like this, but it
Everybody there was part of our party. I swam around, I sat in the hot tub for 5 minutes, or whatever it was, and I got up and went to bed.
And then I have to ask this, did you engage in any sexual activities with this person?
I went to bed. Who is with you? That kind of gets to one of the core issues. This is so uncomfortable, but it's fair game. He was very close with Epstein. He was all over the world with him. He was on the plane 17 times. Like, these are fair game questions of Bill Clinton. Hillary didn't seem to know anything, but Bill knew a lot. And part of what was interesting about the dynamic was watching his lawyer. It was very annoying, her speaking objections. You know, when you take a deposition, the lawyer defending the deponent is not supposed to do a bunch of speaking objections, but man, it was, and so was the male. He was flanked by two lawyers, a female and a male, and both of them were completely trying to telegraph to Bill Clinton the answers. He's asking you to get into Jeffrey Epstein's mind and opine on what he may or may not have been thinking. You know, like you're supposed to say objection to form at a deposition. That's all you're supposed to say, so that you can preserve your substantive objection for when this case ever proceeds to, let's say, a trial, if somebody got indicted. So these speaking objections were inappropriate and ubiquitous yesterday. You didn't see much of it there, but trust me, because I watched a lot of this. There's another one here about whether he thinks Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. That's the $64,000 question for many. SOT 55.
Do you believe that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself?
Are you asking him to speculate on how Mr. Epstein died?
I'm asking what the president thinks
See?
of.
So you're asking his opinion?
Mr. President, was your friend Jeffrey Epstein
Are you
suicidal?
classifying him as a friend who he has testified that he was
has called him
friendly?
a friend in a letter.
He said he was friendly, but not, you've asked for his testimony.
Mr. President, do you believe that Jeffrey Epstein was suicidal?
You know,
Was he ever
She's asking for the
suicidal?
best of your
I
understanding.
don't know. I only know what the medical finding was. I think maybe
that's it.
he finally got caught, and I don't know. I've accepted it in my own mind. I don't know what happened,
Mr. President, what did you accept? That he killed himself or that he did not?
but he did, but I don't know.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Neither do
Mr.
you.
President.
We don't, none of us know.
Did you hear his lawyer say, that's it? He tried to cut him off from answering, and Bubba was there to chat. He was ready, said, I think he got caught. Caught what, sir?
right? I think he got caught. Ouch. It just didn't go well for Bill, I don't think. I don't know.
What? I mean, really, that's the interesting conversation. He wasn't prepared to give up too many details on that, of course, but it is interesting to hear him talk about his own theory on Jeffrey Epstein. You can only imagine what he was thinking because they had known each other very well. Trump, too, for that matter. What was he thinking the day he heard that Epstein allegedly killed himself? Like after all the hours they'd spent together, I mean, I'm sure Bill Clinton was like, oh shit, this is going to turn into a nightmare now because when there's no actual resolution in a court of law, as there ultimately would have been against Jeffrey Epstein, the unanswered questions are sometimes the most dangerous ones. And that's, I think, proven true in the Epstein case. So there you have it. I think he got caught. He got caught. Very interesting answer. The following clip has gone a bit viral because he was smiling as he looked at Epstein documents, showing, for example, a photo of him framed in Epstein's home in Manhattan. This is the pictures from a New York Times piece in 2025. Some had mistakenly thought it was that same picture that we just showed of him in the pool. It's not. It's a different photo of him. And you can watch. It's interesting to sort of watch his reaction to it in SOT 57.
Let's see. Okay.
Mr. President, we have
state your name.
5 minutes remaining in the majority's first hour.
Okay, what's interesting about it is because he's all smiles for the listening audience. He's like ear to ear with a smile as he looks back over the New York Times article, and his lawyer takes it from him. Clearly, she doesn't want him getting too interested in this subject. And then sees a picture of himself, Epstein. And by the way, for the listening audience, it's a picture of the two of them looking like BFFs, just looking at each other like bros in a picture. He's not in a hot tub. He's not naked. He's not with a girl. He's just with Epstein like a great friend. We're showing the audience the picture. They're like side by side. Looks like they're at some sort of like a bar or table, both arms up on the table and looking at each other like, I mean, can you imagine being a fly on that wall and hearing that discussion? What we wouldn't give. Okay, so overall.
So what do you think so far, Melissa? This is, I mean, it's not, like I said, it shouldn't be funny, but just knowing Bill Clinton's history, and as a Canadian, I can honestly say without shame that I watch American politics almost like I'm watching a spoof movie. Like they're just, I mean, if you, okay, ours is no better, but it's a lot less publicized. But some of the shit that goes on in the States is just, it's wild. It's wild. And Bill Clinton, to me, I mean, I'm sure there were more before him, but I was at the age at that time where I was actually watching and paying attention. And I was like, this is a president of the United States. Like, mind blowing shit that this man was doing. So, what are your thoughts as an American, Melissa? Are you embarrassed or like what are your thoughts? And tell me what you thought back in the day when your president was being impeached and stuff. Do tell.
So, um, I'm just going to start from the start of my notes and then I will get to the end with your questions. But okay, all victims matter, whether they're Epstein's or not. All the victims matter. So I agree with the ladies when they said that. But when they asked Bill Clinton about does he like them young, let's remember Bill Clinton was 49 and Monica Lewinsky was 22. And like it was said earlier, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. When he came out and said that back then, I remember I was younger and I called bullshit then. But his smirk throughout that says a lot to me. But when they ask him about the lady in the hot tub with him, all I heard in my head was his famous saying of, I did not have sex. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. But that's what I heard in my head is I did not have sexual relations with that woman. And it was a lie then. And I'm gonna go with it's probably a lie still today.
He didn't even want to admit that there was anybody in the hot tub with him. And he fucking knew there were pictures. There were pictures of Ghislaine at the least, and then another like a redacted girl in there. And he's like, no, no, there was nobody in the. Okay, well, and I mean, Law and Crime actually did a really good one, but it was a lot longer, so I chose this one. But I could watch this shit all day. I'm telling you, with this man. Um, there were points there where he was just so it's like, how did you not know they were gonna ask these questions of you? And then he's they don't call him on it, but he is I'm glad you wrote that down because remember it, Melissa, because he is caught. He is caught. No, 22 is not a child, you're right, but he just said he doesn't like them young. And so he was thinking they were talking about children. And that's why they said, "Well, is an intern young?" Well, yeah, compared to a 49-year-old man, you betcha. So I think that that's the point. Anyways, sorry, Melissa. I'm sorry. Continue, please.
So no, 22 is not a child, but if you go back and you replay the clip, what he said is, and essentially ask, well, are you talking about a minor? And they weren't talking about a minor. They were just talking, do you like them young? Let's remember Bill Clinton was 27 when Lewinsky was born. So there's like a big age difference. So yes, she was less than half his age and still is. Um, so to me, that is young. I'm sorry, it is. And he said that then, and when he came out, like I said, when he came out and said it then, I looked at my husband and I was like, he's lying. And we all agreed. Everybody I knew agreed that he was lying. And if you're going to use that same iconic phrase of, I did not have sexual relations with this person, you're probably still lying. But to sit there and say, well, no, nobody was in the hot tub with me. No, nobody was in the pool. You're literally looking at a picture of this person in a pool with you. And you're like, yeah, no, no, nobody was in the pool. I don't remember that. But,
This
they're
part was
saying,
sorry, this part was kind of funny. In the video too, when he was almost like fighting with his lawyer because he wanted so badly to look at this picture again, and she was trying to keep it away from him. I've got it muted. I'll just play it through while you're talking, but it's so I shouldn't laugh, but it's funny.
he was very anxious to get his hands back on that picture. But, something I noticed, if you can pause it, when they show the picture of him and Epstein that he is so eager to get his hands on. Um, to me, they say, well, they were at a bar or at a table. Well, if you're at a bar or at a table, then Mr. President, and I use that word loosely there, why did you not have a shirt on? Why did it look like you were leaning up against the side of, I don't know, a hot tub? Um, Possibly after being serviced by a young woman. And so, he's in his 50s or 60s, whatever it is, when he goes to Epstein. So if he's with a 17 or 18 or even a 25-year-old, then that is still way younger than him. So, yes, Mr. Clinton, you do like them young. Let's get that straight. But I do notice towards the end, his arms were folded and he was leaning further back in his chair. He wasn't up and kind of had that smirk on his face. He was visibly trying to distance himself from the fact that he just screwed up. So, I mean, I don't know. I shouldn't laugh, but yes, Bill Clinton, you do in fact like them young, and you do and did in fact have sexual relations with that woman. So, yeah, I'm not going to rely on his iconic phrase as truth. I'm just not. He's a flat out liar in my book. Oh, Ron has added to your question. He says, tell us your thoughts on Trump. I think anybody, and look, I get Epstein had money. I get all that, but you know, he had this powerful circle of friends. And I think anybody, whether that be a president or a prince in the UK or whatever, whether you're American or whether you're not, when you're sending messages, your Princess of York or Duchess of York or whatever she was, Fergie, sending emails saying and begging for money from Epstein after these files had come out, doesn't reflect well on you or your family, or in this case, our country. And I think it's wrong. I think that there definitely should be more charges, and I don't care if you're a president or if you're Joe Smo working down at the taco shack. I think charges should be filed. I mean, I get some of these women were just young ladies. They were of age, they were over 18, but that doesn't change the fact if they were being trafficked. And that's what it boils down to. And if you were a part of that, you should be charged, whether you're an American president or not.
Do you want to hear my thoughts on Trump? My far right. Please, Ron, please. The man is a menace. That's really all I'm comfortable saying. But if he would have done it right, he probably wouldn't have been bad, but he's got a twisted sense of morals, I think. And he's let a lot of power go to his head, and he's costing a lot of countries a lot.
I have
Not
to
just
agree
money.
with you.
Yeah. Gross pictures and videos. Mary's half his age. Absolutely. He's a menace. He's horrible. And he's a complete hypocrite. So let's continue, because we're not talking about Trump. We don't like Trump, generally speaking. Thankfully, he's not my president. So, and narcotic pig. I don't know what that means.
I think she
think
means
that's
narcissist.
Narcotic pig. Narcotic pig. That would be like a drug pig? Is that what you're talking about? I don't think so. Okay. Let's
Here with a smile as he looks back over the New York Times article, and his lawyer takes it from him. Clearly, she doesn't want him getting too interested in this subject, and then sees the picture of himself and Epstein. And by the way, for the listening audience, it's a picture of the two of them looking like BFFs, just looking at each other like bros in a picture. He's not in a hot tub. He's not naked. He's not with a girl. He's just with Epstein like a great friend. We're showing the audience the picture. They're like side by side. Looks like they're at some sort of like a bar or table, both arms up on the table and looking at each other like, I mean, can you imagine being a fly on that wall and hearing that discussion? What we wouldn't give. Okay, so overall, it wasn't, earth shattering. That he denied any knowledge of Epstein's sex crimes. When asked if he ever had any communications with Epstein related to young women or girls, he said no. He briefed lawmakers on the backstory of his history with Epstein, and denied having any knowledge, again, of the sex crimes before he was prosecuted. He denied having sex with a mystery woman pictured next to him in that hot tub. Again, he explained it was taken at a lavish hotel in Brunei with the Sultan inviting him there. He said, my team was working on the AIDS issue And Epstein was there, as was Ghislaine Maxwell. The Sultan of Brunei was a man I had gotten to know well. I want you to stay at this hotel and I hope you'll use the pool, he said. So I did. He could not identify the woman in the hot tub with him and was adamant that he did not have sex with her. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. By the way, he was asked whether he's ever lied under oath before, or like when he said he didn't have sexual relations with Miss Lewinsky. And listen to how that went. Short thought here, 54.
First question I have for you, Mr. President. Have you ever lied in a deposition?
No,
Have you ever lied while under oath?
no.
No, he says. Okay. I mean, he was impeached for doing exactly that, but he did deny the charges even then. Pretty sure it wasn't true when he said he did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. And that's pretty well established. But I think he just did it again, quite frankly. That was another lie under oath. Let's see. Oh, then there was a question about Trump and Epstein, asked of Bill Clinton here in SOT 58.
I hate this, but because I don't believe I should inject anything. But I do not want to leave the impression, since there was no follow-up question. The president never, this is 20-something years ago, never said anything to me to make me think he was involved in anything improper with regard to Epstein either. He just didn't. That's the truth. As I said earlier, the only conversation I had with President Trump about this was in the early 2000s. And I have no information that he did anything wrong.
Well, and that's the relevant time frame because Bill Clinton was hanging out with Epstein right after his presidency in that 2000 to 2004 time period. And President Trump, then just Donald Trump, was very close with Epstein from, I think, 2006 backward 10 years. So when they were talking would have been the relevant time frame. And he's saying he never said anything to me about Epstein and young girls and anything, knowing any of that or participating in any of that at the relevant time frame. So that is interesting and probative. And by the way, also puts the lie to Bill's and Hillary's claim that they had absolutely nothing of value to offer and no relevant information to discuss. He did. She didn't really have too much to say, but he absolutely did. And it was very wormy that they tried to get out of it by claiming they knew nothing. It was not true in his case, and that was made clear by the deposition yesterday, and notwithstanding his lawyer's best attempts to make him look like he in fact was a know nothing. Here's Hillary in the moment that's getting a lot of attention because she I got to say it's kind of bullshit. So Lauren Boebert was there among others when Hillary was deposed, and she decided to take a picture of Hillary and to leak it to Benny Johnson, who put it on his social media during the middle of the deposition. Well, the depo was going to be made public. It was understood and agreed that it was going to be made public, the videotape of it. So it doesn't make it really like a capital offense, what she did, because it was all becoming, it's not like, oh my God, we never would have seen it had it not been for this Lauren Boebert snapshot. But I'm not gonna lie, it was a classless thing to do. Follow the rules of the depo, all right? Like, you may hate Hillary Clinton, but she's the former Secretary of State. She did show up. She's answering the questions. Like, fucking just go along with the protocol. And it's not up to you to upend the whole situation by taking a snapshot and leaking it. I just, Benny Johnson did nothing wrong, but I don't think Lauren Boebert should have done that. But okay, she did. And when Hillary found out about it, because it hit social media seconds thereafter, and that they had violated the agreement between Hillary's team and the House Oversight Committee, she wasn't happy. Here's a bit of that.
Excuse me, can I interrupt?
I have another.
Photos that are being released of the secretary as she is testifying from inside this room. Can you please advise me as to whether or not that's permissible and consistent with the rules, particularly given that we have asked for a public hearing? If there are photos that are being released of the secretary as she is testifying, can you please explain how?
I'm done with this. If you guys are doing that, I am done. You can hold me in contempt from now until the cows come home. This is just typical behavior.
He will go off the record.
Oh, for heaven's
So I would like
sake.
to understand how that's permissible.
For the hearing was.
It doesn't matter. We all are abiding by the same rules.
I will take that down.
Yeah,
So I
well,
would like to take a break at this moment.
yeah,
and I'd like to have
I'm
a
done
conversation.
for now.
Go off the record. Go off the record.
She literally reminds me of me when I'm fighting with people. So the finger pointing comes out and the yeah, well, I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't laugh.
I'm gonna shock you, but she was right. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm on her side. They shouldn't have done it. Like, these things are always negotiated. I've taken countless depositions, and they're always negotiated the terms of what's going to be available, what's going to be publicly available, what's on the record, what's not, but all the stuff. And it's the subject of countless phone calls and letter writing with the lawyers before the event. And everyone there is expected to live up to the terms. And we were always going to see Hillary on tape offering her testimonial. So there was no reason for it. Okay. There was no reason for it. And I think Lauren Boebert jeopardized the day's proceedings with a stupid thing that was kind of pointless. All right. So write it down in the calendar. What's today? March 3rd. I'm in agreement with Hillary Clinton. I've got one more. And this is where she has a heated exchange with Nancy Mace in SOT 60. She's asking
I know
about
Howard
Hillary's
Lutnick
relationship with
because
Howard
when
Lutnick.
I was senator on 9/11, the firm he headed, Cantor Fitzgerald, suffered the greatest loss of life. As I recall, something like 650 of his employees were murdered by terrorists that day. Howard Lutnick missed being a victim because he was delayed dropping his child off to kindergarten. You asked the question. I'm going to answer your question.
Now you're gonna
This was what I spent my time doing.
I'm a
I
survivor
spent
trying to look out for other
Well,
survivors, trying to.
and
get to the
I
bottom
was
of it.
taking care
You
of
waited
the
6
people
months
who
to get
lost
here today,
3,000
6 months,
lives
and now you're being
at World
defiant
Trade
and
Center.
indignant today. You have emails. You've denied that Jeffrey Epstein, that you tried to get Jeffrey Epstein to give money to you.
I did
but
not.
Howard Lutnick was
If
used
you
to
have an
get
email
money.
with me asking Jeffrey
I
Epstein
have
for
an
money,
email from Howard Lutnick sending it to Jeffrey Epstein and his people to raise money
I
for
don't
you
know about.
for an event, an intimate event for you at his offices
Well,
at Cantor Fitzgerald. You're going to sit
if
here
you
today
if you would
and,
let me
and,
finish.
and obfuscate and say to this committee, you didn't try to get money from Jeffrey Epstein when there was an.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, she was dancing around the question. Like she didn't even answer the question. I don't know what Megan is going to say here, but she didn't even answer the question. She just did a waltz around it. Not even a waltz. She did like the dip around it.
That went on. I will say Hillary did a good thing in the longer answer where she said to Nancy Mace, because you heard Nancy Mace say, I'm a survivor. And Hillary said, I'm aware of your story and I respect what you've been through and your testimonial about it that I heard on the floor of the Congress. Like she had her moments there. You know, sometimes you got to give it to her. She's no dope and she practiced law for a number of years. So she knew how to handle herself in there, but look, the bottom line is no substance really was offered in the Hillary portion of the event. And it did not appear that she knew that much, or at least wasn't prepared to give up that much. Think about this. In 2006.
So, and to me, like if like it sounds like Hillary never had contact with Epstein. And my thing is, I have seen pictures of Hillary Clinton with Epstein in the picture. I hate AI. I hate AI. Are you talking to me? No. No, I don't. No, I don't. People were questioning the timing of the Epstein file drop to Nancy's disappearance. And then there was all the talk about Nancy's ex-husband being working or whatever, being connected to Epstein. And we're also covering the Epstein files here. And when I saw these depositions, I wanted to show them. I wanted to talk about them. I don't think Bill and Hillary kidnapped anybody. I'm not saying that. Not saying that.
She's replying to yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, you never know with Ron. He told me to go wait in the car. Then what? Then what? You'd be stuck here with the Trump lover. Just kidding. Go ahead, Melissa. What are your thoughts?
Well, first, I take offense to being called a Trump lover. What the frick? But no. So, Yes, ma'am said, okay, I fast forwarded it. So on Dolly call-in panel, there was a lady who checked flights to a private airport, I believe, and Hillary and Bill's private plane came and went to Arizona for a few trips. When Nancy went missing, anyone think it's a coincidence? Yes, I do. I don't think Hillary and Bill Clinton kidnapped Nancy, but I don't frankly believe a word that comes out of Bill Clinton's mouth or Hillary Clinton's mouth. Let's remember she deleted many emails and then lied about it. So I don't know. I think it's hilarious. I think this whole thing, this deposition is they're holding their own. They're clearly lying in my opinion, but again, I just don't know that I have enough personally to agree or even really disagree at this point that this Epstein debacle files, whatever you want to call it, has anything to do with Nancy Guthrie missing. I mean, there's a lot of things that seem off, but I don't have enough to tell me yes or no that I don't think that I need more information to connect them.
Agreed. Agreed. But I mean, it is interesting. But I agree, the Clintons are full of shit, and everything that they do because of their, I guess, their positions, what they've chosen to do with their lives, everything they do matters, unfortunately. So, Ron, you're not allowed to ask. You don't ask what a woman weighs. You don't ask how old they are, and you don't
I'll
ask who they
answer.
voted for. Are you sure you want to do that?
You're not going to like my answer, but I'll answer it. I didn't. I did not vote because I did not see anybody on the ballot worth voting for.
I was thinking, like, if I was in the States, what would I do, right? When you're left with two choices like that, it's no different than Canada, really. Like, who are you gonna vote for? Polyev? Or,
I would have wrote
I
my
mean,
own name in if I could have.
yeah, oh shit. But I mean, it comes down to, like, for me, the lesser of two evils, right? Because they're all full of shit, and they all, who, most of them change their tune once they're voted in. That's it. You don't even get the car, you get the unheated short bus. Okay. Now, there's this Jesse Weber part. It's a lot longer, and I'm not sure I want to get into it because it doesn't really, it's just, I hate to say it, but it's entertaining for me to watch these two, especially Hillary, because you guys are right. She can hold her own and she's not dumb and she had nothing to do with it. To the point where even Bill, at the beginning of his, he kind of scolded them for even bringing her into it. Like, I waited for you guys to come ask me questions, but why are you asking her anything? She's got nothing to do with Epstein, never did. I was expecting you to come to me, but not her. You know what I mean? So, and they asked her about Pizzagate. Did you guys know this? They asked her about Pizzagate. So, I am going to actually just share this link because again, it's a lot shorter than or a lot longer than Megan's, but this one's got more in it. But what they did is they went through and kind of came up with the most interesting bits, I guess. You got to think 2 full days of depositions. So, yeah, go and watch this one if you want. I mean, don't if you don't want to, whatever. But I felt like I was interested. I know. We don't our polls aren't even closed before the news is calling the election. So that's a problem. It's a problem. You want to see Pizzagate? I absolutely do. I am anti, what are they called? My brain's frozen. I can't even. Daylight savings. It's bullshit. They do that to mess with us. All right. I will. Okay, Melissa, you give some thoughts so that I can search for the Pizzagate clip because it was good. It was. I can't believe they asked her about it, but they did. But you talk.
Oh Lord. Daylight savings time sucks. Anybody who
Juries
thinks
consider it all the time. I'm not saying there's a jury here, but we're
that you can cut the top off of a blanket and sew it to the bottom and make that blanket longer is not very smart. It's kind of stupid in my opinion. Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing the Pizzagate. That would be. Hillary Clinton holds her own. Like her or not, she holds her own.
Yeah, I'm just searching the transcript. Just give me like 3 minutes.
Oh Lord, I gotta talk for 3 minutes. Challenged. Yeah, that would be a good word for it. I don't know. When I can look out my window at 6 in the evening and it's dark, that makes me depressed. I don't like it. I like summertime. Where a young man went in a pizza shop with an assault rifle. Oh, that's sad. She said, "Is a dumb question and isn't going to respond to a conspiracy." Can't blame her. I don't know.
All right, I found it.
Yeah, that works with me.
Okay, guys, I found it. So I'll play it out. So where it starts.
now. You remember the 2016 conspiracy theory about Pizzagate? Mentioned this in a prior sidebar about references to pizza in the Epstein files, people making connections between the two. Pizzagate was the unfounded theory that you had this sex trafficking pedophile ring featuring prominent Democratic figures was being run out of a DC pizza shop. Boebert asks Hillary Clinton about this.
In past public statements, as in 2017 speeches and interviews, you described Pizzagate as a baseless conspiracy theory, alleging you and others ran a child sex trafficking ring from a Washington pizzeria basement. Have you reviewed any 2025-2026 Epstein files that were released that you believe reference or relate to those specific 2016 claims regarding the Podesta emails, Comet Ping Pong Pizza used as code possibly?
I'm sorry, does
You're
this
asking
relate-
her about whether
Excuse me.
she's reviewed emails in the Epstein
Epstein files.
files which relate to the wacky Pizzagate
You
scandal.
could characterize it however you want. I just would like to know if she's familiar with any of them.
So
She's
excuse me,
commented-
your question is about whether or not she has reviewed any emails in the Epstein release files about Pizzagate.
Correct.
Pizzagate was totally made up. It was an outrageous allegation that ended up hurting a number of people, that caused a deranged young man to show up with his assault rifle and shoot up a local pizzeria. I can't believe you're even referencing it. You should be.
There are connections to the language.
Well,
I'm not
the
talking
QAnon
about-
people believe there are, so.
I don't know what QAnon
have at
people
it.
believe.
Have at it.
But you've accused certain parties, and I think even right now today, of promoting slow walking or information in ways that fuels conspiracies. In your view, did any Epstein-Maxwell related investigations or file handling pre or post 2019 contribute to or intersect with the spread of Pizzagate style theories about Democrat figures?
Objection.
I have
Calls
no way
that
of answering. That is the
possible amount of
most
speculation.
ridiculously.
Have you or your representatives identified any Epstein file content that has been misinterpreted online to revive those claims? And what steps, if any, have you taken to clarify?
Again, object on the ground of
I think that this is all very
speculation.
reasonable.
Well, first of all, I don't follow the crazy conspiracy stories that are online. I regret that anybody does. I find it quite sad, but also disturbing that people would believe some of what is put forth, like Pizzagate. So I have taken no steps to review anything that might have any connection to something which I think is totally bogus.
Next question, want to provide a little context here. So remember Anthony Weiner served in the U.S. House of Representatives, had to resign over claims he sent women sexually suggestive photos. Then there was the whole scandal of him.
Sorry. So there you go. There's your Pizzagate. I can't believe that Congress brought that up. By the way, I was giggling pretty hard at this. It's absolutely no offense to Melissa because we know she's not a Trumpanzee. I'm gonna call all of the redneck far right extremist hillbillies in Alberta Trumpanzees from now on. That's epic. Thank you so much, Ron. That was a good one. That was great. I don't know if it's on our referendum. I know we have some referendum coming up. I'm going to get up at 4:20 to see the red moon. I think that was last night, wasn't it? No, I didn't have any of that on my bingo card. No, she's nasty. I'm embarrassed to say I don't know much about Wiener. Take that for what it is.
That's not what Ian says.
Hey, Dodie. Okay. Can we? Okay, so I put the link, and I'll do it again. I'll put the link to this one because it's a good one. He did another really great job. It is 52 minutes long because there was a lot of points of interest in the 2 days of depositions that I found interesting. Not many will probably, but I do. I have a sneeze coming.
After hearing that, I do remember hearing the Pizzagate thing, but let's remember trafficking can happen from anywhere. Whether it's a basement of a pizzeria or a millionaire's mansion. I mean, it can happen from anywhere. So
Are you saying that you never heard of Pizzagate? Or did you never hear of that? Because it was a whole thing during lockdown. Like my schizophrenic ex was hooked on QAnon, and that's all they would talk about. Like it was nuts. It was nuts. And then yet some guy took a rifle into the pizzeria that they were talking about, and I mean it was brutal.
Yeah, I mean I heard about it then, but I had kind of forgotten about it. But yeah, I mean it was sad. It was something else, but I mean, you know, you can't just take what you read online as fact because it's not always fact. We came across that in Delphi and we came across it in Sebastian. We've come across it with Jack and Lily. I mean, just because something is said online doesn't necessarily make it fact. I mean, I'd forgotten about it. It reminded me of it, but again, I mean, trafficking can happen from anywhere. That doesn't give somebody the right to go shoot up a business by any means. But and Wiener did send pictures of his wiener to many a woman. So yes, I do remember that.
Oh my gosh, Marie, thank you. Thank you so much. That's so nice. Go get some wiener. I don't want no Alberta wiener. Like, but thank you. That's crazy. Thank you. But what? What'd you say? What did he really send dick pics?
Yes, he did. Yes, I remember several of us in my little group laughing at the fact that he got caught and called out on sending dick pics.
Is he an old man?
Yeah.
Like, did he have to do one of them? I don't I don't want to know. This okay, this took a nasty turn. Thank you so much, Marie. I'm gonna put that in my Arizona fund. I announced earlier today that I am seriously considering accepting an invitation to go to Tucson in the next couple of weeks to just to, you know, be boots on the ground for a couple of days, like 4 or 5 days, and you know, see if there's anything that I can do to help or, you know, show you guys stuff. Uh, you know, I think it would be not fun, but I think it would be meaningful. The, you know, the one thing that I always hope to do or hope to be is helpful. I don't want to hurt an investigation. I just and I'm not delusional. I don't think that I'm going to be able to solve anything sitting here, even going out to Tucson. I don't think I'm going to be the one to solve, but if I can be there to help in any way, I would take that opportunity. So, like I said, I've been invited to go travel around with some of the other YouTubers that are boots on the ground, and I'm seriously considering it. So I think that would be fantastic. Plus, I'm so sick of the snow. So sick of the snow. So, um, how far is Arizona from you, Melissa? Indiana? It's on the other side of the country, right?
I don't know. I'll have to look up. It's a good ways away. It's several states away.
Yeah, I remember I was gonna fly to Delphi when Aspen was there, and it was like actually no, I'm lying. I was gonna drive to Delphi when Aspen was there. And it was like even if I went down across the border and then through the states, it was still like a 14-hour drive. Just because it takes forever to get through Ontario. Um, but then if I mean, I'm sure if I drove to Arizona, it would have been around the same, but flying it was only like 3 hours, 3.5 hours. So it wasn't that bad. But I'm hoping I'm hoping it happens. I want to go. Um, Mark and Alex both. Yes. Um, don't read anything into it. We're just, you know, we're friends. He's my friend and he's invited me. So, yes, I
So
think Mary's Gone Wild should go with me for sure. I think that would be or Marie.
so I looked it up. It is 25 hours and 51 minutes. So essentially 26 hours from my house to Tucson.
Uh, Probably cheaper to fly with the cost of gas. Just saying. Okay, so Ashley Banfield, you guys, she has been a go-to source for this case. She's got some kind of source close to law enforcement. And late last night, she had done, I don't even think it might, I don't think it was a live stream. It might have been a live stream. I don't know. But anyways, according to her, she said that they were searching for a body with specific coordinates in the desert. So it's crazy. I want to I haven't watched the whole thing, but I did search the transcript to see when it was, so it should be right here where we're listening. If it's not, I will research the transcript. Yes, she is from Manitoba. She's Canadian. Um, so I want to watch this. You wish you could go with me, but you kind of will because I'll be like live streaming from there and hopefully y'all will join me, so it's kind of like you're there. Okay, let's watch this.
To a neighboring county and look for a body. This is several days ago that this apparently happened. And that neighboring agency did take that signal sniffer and did go out into the desert to a specific location. I'll get to what kind of specific location and what they used to find the location in a minute. But they did do that. And obviously, they did not find Nancy at this place. But it is sad to hear that this was one of the directives. Please go to this specific location in the desert in a neighboring county and look for a body. So there was some intelligence that investigators came across that led them to go on that mission. And what's really interesting about the timing of it was that it was just one day after news broke that the Pima authorities were using the signal sniffer in Pima County. And I think you might remember when Brian Enton was reporting and he said, there's this helicopter above me as I'm doing this live report. And it came out later that that was a helicopter using the signal sniffer. And I think Brian mentioned that they had it on the rudder. I'm not sure if they did or if they were holding it, whatever it was. The search in the neighboring county came right after the Pima County. And I thought, well, wow, that's awfully quick, because I would have thought that they'd spend many days with that signal sniffer in Pima County. I mean, Pima County is the size of Rhode Island and Connecticut combined. It is huge. But maybe this was an immediate piece of information. They needed to go check it out, and then they brought the signal sniffer back into the Pima area and continued their searches. I don't know that. It stands to reason they wouldn't just search for a day. They would continue to use that technology. And if you missed that episode, I'll just quickly summarize that the signal sniffer is technology that, and this is my talk to me like I'm five language, but effectively sends out a handshake and looks for an advertisement coming from the ground, from Nancy's very specific address of her pacemaker. That pacemaker is continually sending out advertisements looking to connect with its devices, right? Because it got separated from its devices when she was taken from her home. And it's still sending out those advertisements. Hey, hello, where are you? And this sniffer comes down and searches for that address saying, I'm right here, and then connects and can find where that pacemaker is. That's what the signal sniffer was doing. I hope that made sense. It sounded awfully sophomoric, however. And for those of you who think, well, what if Nancy died? Then that's just a fool's errand. Well, the pacemaker doesn't die. The pacemaker is electronic, and it will go on for years, according to the people who actually make the signal sniffer technology and who know about the actual technology of the pacemakers. So I think it's just an incredible possibility that might still yield something in this investigation. But it's just fascinating because let me tell you what the Pima folks told the neighboring agency to do. They gave them cell tower coordinates to go into the desert, that specific area in the desert in the neighboring county, for purposes of protecting sources. I can't tell you what county, but I know what county. I just can't tell you, unfortunately. And so, yeah, they were given cell tower coordinates, and they took the sniffer out there, and obviously it did not yield anything, which is very sad. What's also hard when you're reporting and when you're investigating a story like Nancy Guthrie's disappearance is that eventually one must change from a rescue mission to a recovery mission. And there is no definition for when that time is. When a ferry capsizes, of course, we know that the search mission turns to a recovery mission fairly quickly, because how long can you survive in the water? But in a mission like this, it's a little less defined. So it's very hard to be talking out loud about searching for a body. But we know that law enforcement with PEMA was doing that, at least in this one circumstance. Who knows if they're doing it in other circumstances, but we are now in week 5. We hit the 1-month mark yesterday. And again, this is Monday, March 2nd, day 30. It's entirely probable there are these 2 parallel investigations ongoing, one to find Nancy alive and one to potentially find Nancy dead. And even Savannah has acknowledged in some of her Instagrams that she may no longer be with us. And to that, I have some news for you today I will get to in a moment. But finally, Savannah and her family have come to the flower.
It's a very good point that she raises. It is hard to talk about a recovery instead of a rescue, but I think that's the reality of it, and like what a thought. But if they knew she had a pacemaker and they thought it could be tracked, it's like nothing is off the table. It's unfortunate, but there's no way of knowing if the pacemaker was removed or not. Sad to think of, but unfortunately it could be true. I'm sure she died. In my opinion, she's not alive and has not been. It's, it's kind of the gut feeling, isn't it? It's sad, but it's sad. You have any thoughts, Melissa? I'm gonna mute this and play it to the next part. So we went over and this is actually really quickly. This is what I was talking about early today when we were talking about the Jack and Lily case, and how, if all these people that are talking, but they want certain things kept secret, why are you telling a YouTuber? And I'll never stray from that. But this is a perfect example of a source who wants to give credible information, but also to protect the source. There are certain ways to put out information without giving away who the source could be. And that was kind of my point today. But I think Ashley did the right thing in that regard. She still got the information out, but we don't need to know what county. And if that information would kind of reveal the source, then so be it. But we got the information still. And that's kind of my point with Jack and Leah. If you're going to talk to YouTubers, do it in a way that we're able to share the information that you have so that everybody knows, and so that we can determine if it's credible. And if it's something that you and only you know, and so people will know it was you, then maybe you shouldn't be saying it. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Melissa?
So I have to agree. I mean, if you're gonna say it, let it be known. I mean, we all do it. We all talk to different sources, and they'll say, "Hey, well, here's how I know this information." You can't say that, but you can say this, and it does get hard, and it is sometimes hard to, especially if there's a lot that they tell you, and there's a lot you can't say, and very little you can. It does get kind of hard to do that, but I mean, I kind of back you up there. If it's not supposed to be said, why are you saying it to a YouTuber to begin with? But my question with the signal sniffer, and it never really got answered before, but does that pick up any pacemaker, or is it specific to Nancy's pacemaker?
That's interesting. I don't know. That's an interesting thought, though. You would think it would be any. Well, yeah, it would be any, unless a signal sniffer is not unlike a Bluetooth and they have that pairing number or whatever it would be. I don't know. And that's interesting. If you remember or can give me a roundabout timestamp, Yeah, sure. Deborah, if you can give me kind of a rough timestamp, I'd be happy to play it for sure. And Ron, dealing with that conundrum in my professional life right now. If you shouldn't say it, don't say it. I don't know. I just like there are ways to get information out there that you want out there. And even some of the information that I was given and I thought would be helpful to one side or the other in Jack and Lily's case, I would tell them that, this needs to get out. People need to hear this. But nope. So then stop talking. To me, at least. Because I don't like the feeling of having all of this unknown information and I can't discuss it with anybody. I can't put it out there because in my own mind now I've got all these wires crossed and all this information that if I share it, I'm a rat, right? Allegedly. So I don't know. I think Ashley did a good job with her source, but go ahead, send me that link and I will play Ashley unless you have something else to say.
Nope.
Neighbors and friends and mourners and those who are just connected. And her sister Annie and Annie's husband Tommaso all came down Nancy Guthrie's driveway. And they had with them yellow flowers and a card. And it was such a sad moment to see them come and take in this makeshift memorial that has been growing right at Nancy's driveway, where her driveway meets the street right near her mailbox. The neighbors began, putting flowers out, yellow flowers, and then passersby and people from all over Tucson, have come to Nancy Guthrie's home to leave messages and these memorial flowers, and the Guthrie kids and their Annie's husband all came to take a look at it. And it was so sad because you could hear Annie crying very loudly as they were all hugging, and they left their flowers and they left a card. I'll read it for you in a moment, but I just want you to see this moment without any talking over top.
Yeah, Ron, I think if I didn't say it, it was in my head that the police would know that
So as I
information.
said, they looked at all the messages that people have left and the flowers they've left. They left their own yellow flowers there, and they left this card. And I want to read this for you. It says, "Mama, we miss you so much. Our hearts are broken. We are standing on ash, on scorched earth. But Mom, though we are surrounded by so much darkness and uncertainty, our love burns bright. We love you, Mommy. We miss you so much. Our best friend, Annie, Tommaso, and Olmo." I don't know who Olmo, maybe one of their children or a pet, or I'm not sure who that is, but that was obviously from Annie and Tommaso. Savannah's not signed on that card. But I will tell you that it was only Fox and News Nation that were there to capture this moment, because the press corps has pretty much vanished from this street out in front of Nancy's house, not for lack of interest in the story necessarily. The sheriff put in these extraordinarily oppressive parking restrictions that go out for concentric blocks, right? And so anybody who wants to actually see what's happening, cover the story, find out what investigators are doing, find out what families doing, etc. They have to carry all of their gear for a very, very long walk. And don't forget, this is the desert. So they're effectively walking on sort of a dusty road in the middle of the 89-degree weather, and then carrying all their gear for the day. As Brian Enton said to me, I was absolutely exhausted. I felt dehydrated. He'd been there all day because it's not enough time in between live shots to make your way all the way back out to where your car is parked, even though a nice neighbor gave him a driveway. It just isn't very close. they're low on water, they're low on power, there's no shelter from the oppressive heat. They get under a tent to try to shield themselves from the desert sun, but even then it's just it's made it so difficult. So the sheriff got what he wanted, I think. Get rid of them by making it painful. So the other
Just really quickly, I heard today from the people who are there, boots on the ground, the no parking signs have been removed. So I haven't checked in, but I believe Mark and Alex were going to try parking on the street again because there are no more no parking signs. So thank you for that. It would be great though if you had, oh, never mind, it's a short, so that's good. I'll watch it, but we're just gonna continue this because I think we're at the part that I wanted to get to anyways.
issue is that on Saturday, at 2:30 in the morning, we began a war with Iran here in the United States, and so the reporters were needed elsewhere, and so that might be part of the reason why all of a sudden there's so few people who were there. Nonetheless, to keep the story alive, Savannah put out another Instagram today, and it's just text. It's not a video, but I'll read it to you. She said, "We feel the love and prayers from our neighbors, from the Tucson community, and from around the country." And she puts a yellow heart. "Please don't stop praying and hoping with us." So just some other stuff that I collected, just news that I collected today and in the last 2 days as well. Michael Ruiz, again, dogged reporter from Fox. He did not leave. He is still there. He and his team captured these images along with News Nation of the Guthrie family coming to the mailbox. He said he also noticed a camera, and I'll read what he said in his tweet. "Just noticed a camera on the way in and out of Annie and Tommaso's neighborhood that I hadn't seen before." Unfortunately, I don't have any other context to that. I don't know if this is a public camera that the city put up. I don't know if it's a neighborhood camera that the neighbors put up together. I don't know what it is, but it's new to Michael Ruiz. He also said that the Pima County Sheriff's Department and the FBI have shifted resources as the investigation enters its 5th week. And this is what Michael says. "Sources say that this morning the case was handed off to a task force featuring Pima County homicide detectives and FBI agents." At some point there has to be a drawdown, right? Again, we're going into week 5 now. We are in week 5 now. And at some point, there's still work that needs to be done in Tucson and throughout greater Arizona. And so the 400 agents that we had been told originally were at one point working on this case, they will have to draw down. And so Michael Ruiz is seeing the evidence of that through his sources right now. But also there's a statement that pretty much tells us that that is what's happening to a degree. This is from the Pima County Sheriff's Department. Quote, "This remains an active investigation and will continue until Nancy Guthrie is located or all leads have been exhausted. The Pima County Sheriff's Department is refocusing resources to detectives specifically assigned to this case. As leads are developed and resolved, resource allocation may fluctuate. Pima County Sheriff's Department will maintain a patrol presence in the Guthrie neighborhood." But to that, I will tell you that on Saturday, Michael Ruiz reported that the deputy who had been watching Nancy Guthrie's driveway left. And there had been a couple of other reports saying that it's no longer a constant, a deputy protecting the house. And Matt Finn from Fox reported on Saturday that the Pima County Sheriff's vehicles that have been guarding Nancy's property for weeks might be leaving soon as the house is returned to the family. And I know what you're thinking. Wait, the sheriff told us that they returned the house to the family, or at least they returned the house. It's no longer a crime scene on Monday after the crime, right? Nancy was taken on Sunday morning. And on Monday evening, it was no longer a crime scene. And we were told that it was released to the family then. So I'm confused as you are as to why the sheriff is now saying we're releasing it to the family now. And frankly, that's not so much what the sheriff is saying as the reporters are saying the sheriff has told them. So there's been no actual press release saying that. But as you know, there's been some mixed messages throughout this particular case. Something else that Michael Ruiz noticed, which I thought was really interesting. We reported to you on Friday night that this remarkable moment had sort of percolated out of nowhere, that a neighbor from 2.5 miles away, outside of the 2-mile radius.
Thank you for renewing your membership, Ron. I don't know that she said anything new, though. That's weird. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Melissa, any thoughts? Any thoughts?
No, not really. I mean, I'm not surprised that they're paring down the investigation. I mean, we see this happen all the time. So it doesn't surprise me that they're doing it. I'm kind of surprised that there's still media doing essentially a 12 to 14 to maybe even 24-hour a day coverage out there. But I mean, what do they think they're going to learn? Because for me, it's like the main stuff has already happened. Unless they're expecting Nancy to come walking up the driveway, what is the purpose of essentially camping out in front of her house?
Okay, sorry, guys. Apparently, the name was removed. So, you guys that know the name, I have the name, I have his story. Should I not share it because it was removed? Let's watch it and then. Oh, I hate that. Just a minute. Unshare. Sorry, it was on the wrong screen. I wouldn't have been able to see your comments. Let's share it and we'll watch it and then you guys can tell me if you think I should divulge the name. If JLR, well, I guess this is J is for justice, but if he went up to JLR and told that stuff to a YouTuber, again, here I am back at the same thing. What are you talking to a YouTuber for then? I don't know. Yeah, because Marie, exactly. Like, why would his name be removed unless maybe JLR is just afraid of a lawsuit or something? But again, you're talking to a YouTuber who is literally live streaming. And he's got 35 to 80,000 people watching him at any given moment, so it's not like his name isn't out there. Let's watch it. Let's see how it's redacted, and then we'll talk about it. It pisses me off, though. I gotta tell you, stop talking to YouTubers if the information can't be shared. Just stop it.
Fucking drug dealers, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't work for the government. He fucking takes money from people.
So how about this, James? So look, if he did it, what was his motive to get Nancy? What's his motive? Like, if you know he's a piece of shit, he's a drug dealer, what would be his motive to take Nancy?
Because one of them owed him money.
What, a family member or something? Maybe?
Someone owed him money.
Someone owed him money.
I live in this fucking place, man.
Yeah.
This is my town. You know what I mean? I mean, who can figure it out? You know, like, you got my dad over there, all right? You know what I'm saying? We're trying to
That's
figure.
awesome.
We're trying to fix this.
So that's what we're doing too. I'm a local. We're just trying to find her.
You can say that too, man. I hate that piece of shit.
What did he do to you? Like, how do you know him?
Yeah, what did he do to you, man?
Like, what's going on?
You know what I don't like about him?
Huh.
Because he poisons people.
How? With the
drugs.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think you should go to the police with this information. If they don't know. You said they know?
He thinks they know. I think you should probably share that.
I think we're just coming out here. Look, I brought my dad out of here. I was trying to find the reporter.
I feel sick.
No, fuck that guy, man. He's a fucking cartel fucking drug dealer, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Right.
You know? I mean, that's where if anybody knows, that's who knows.
You know anybody who has any...
Who are you here with? Are you driving?
Dad. No.
Your dad's driving?
I would have said something. So your dad, huh?
No, my dad doesn't know that. Been in federal prison for like 20 years. You know what I'm saying?
Life happens, right?
You know what I'm saying? Life happens and shit, and I know exactly. If anybody in this town knows who did it.
Is it maybe because you have a grudge on him? Maybe?
Yeah, maybe you could say.
Okay. You know, I can see how that could be.
Maybe you could say. Maybe you could say that. But, no. But if anybody in this town knows where she's at,
he would not.
That's exactly no. That's exactly. How do we reach him? Call his fucking phone number.
Was he like your attorney one time or something?
No, actually not. I don't fucking have piece of shit attorneys like him. You know,
Was he here? So how did you meet?
Fucking drug dealers, man.
Okay. No, Joe, you're not blocked. I think you've got a little bit of a complex because you've been blocked on other channels. I don't block people. I've blocked Durwood, period, and a couple of fake profiles. My thoughts, he reminds me, no judgment. He reminds me, not the looks, but his demeanor of my schizophrenic ex. He's not well. He's not well. Maybe just a minute. I have to a little intoxicated. Is that why JLR, maybe that's why JLR asked if he was driving. Maybe. Let me unshare it so that I can, because I can't pull up my email so you guys will see it. His name, just a minute. Walter Nash. He's a lawyer in Tucson. He stated that he's a high-profile lawyer for narcotics and criminal justice, but said he is involved in the cartel. He believes someone owed someone money. I think he's a little unstable. What do you think, Melissa?
I have to agree. I don't know if it's drugs or alcohol or, mental illness, but he definitely seems a little unstable. And I mean, also, is this somebody who's just looking for their 5 minutes or 15 minutes of fame?
It always troubles me. Like it bothers me when people are, and I'm not saying that he's being exploited, but if you have any reason to think that somebody is not well, not coherent, that's why I could never be like a real 100,000 subscriber YouTuber, because I don't think that's right to put it out there. He's clearly not okay. But I'm going to watch it again because I'm a little bit of a hypocrite, but I'm going to watch it again just to make sure that I'm not misjudging the situation. Tell me what you guys think in chat. It's troubling.
Fucking drug dealers, man. You know what I'm saying? He don't work for the government. He fucking takes money from people.
So how about this, James? So look, if he did it, what was his motive to get lunacy? What's his motive? Like, if you know he's a piece of shit, he's a drug dealer. What would be his motive to take Nancy?
Because one of them owed him money.
What, a family member or something?
Someone owed him money.
Someone owed him money.
I live in this fucking place, man.
Yeah.
This is my town. You know what I mean? I mean, who can figure it out? You know, like, you got my dad over there, all right? You know what I'm saying?
You
we're
and your
trying
dad?
to we're trying to
That's
figure,
awesome.
we're trying to figure
So
this out.
that's what we're doing too. I'm local. We're just trying to find her.
You can say that too, man. I hate that piece of shit.
What did he do to you? Like, how do you know him?
Yeah, what did he do to you, man?
Like, what's
Fill us
going
in.
on?
You know what I don't like about him?
Huh.
Because he poisons people.
How? With the
drugs.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think you should go to the police with this information. If they don't know. You said they know?
He thinks they know. I think he should probably share that.
I think we're just coming out here. Look, I brought my dad out of here. We're like, I was trying to find the reporter.
I feel sick.
No, fuck that guy, man. He's a fucking cartel fucking drug dealer, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Right.
You know? I mean, that's where if anybody knows, that's who knows.
You know anybody who has any
Who are you here with? Are you driving?
dad? No.
Your dad's driving?
I would have said something. So your dad, huh?
And my dad doesn't know nothing. I've been in federal prison for like 20 years. You know what I'm saying?
Life happens, right?
You know what I'm saying? Life happens and shit, and I know exactly. If anybody in this town knows who did it.
Is it maybe because you have a grudge on him? Maybe?
Yeah, maybe you could say.
Okay. You know what? I can see how that could be.
Maybe you could say.
I mean, y'all know how I like to preach, but I don't recall, I mean, I can't say anymore, but I don't recall a lawyer acting this way, high profile lawyer to boot, acting this way in front of a camera. Does he not know who JLR is? I understand, like, maybe he doesn't know Alex, like, that's who's talking to him, Alex, criminal network. Alex is a big dude, tattoos on his face. But would a lawyer be divulging this information in this manner on the streets out front of Nancy Guthrie's house to people with cameras? Maybe he lives under a rock and he doesn't realize. Thanks for pointing out the comb over, Ron. I didn't want to do it myself, but he's not the lawyer. His dad is the lawyer. Who's the lawyer? That's what you said. That's what you said in the email. Sorry, I thought he was a good president. He started. I'm talking about his shenanigans. I mean, back then, even to this day, I still don't pay attention to the good or bad somebody does for the USA as their president. I watch the drama on TV and I pay attention to the shit that affects me. So I don't know what Bill Clinton did. Sorry if you're American if we've offended you in any way. That wasn't our intention. I was strictly listening to the deposition because I found it mildly entertaining. Don't take that the wrong way either, because I know it's not a joke. Does this guy that's yapping want to have his parents go missing? Oh boy. Maybe he was duped by this guy in the past. What are you saying? I thought your email said that he's a lawyer. Oh, the person that has him? That has Nancy as a lawyer? Why are you yelling at me? Who's JLR? Go wait in the car. He's stating he knows the lawyer. Okay. That has Nancy? Yeah. Sure, but do they I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say. I'm all, perhaps the lawyer got him addicted. Perhaps. I'm fucking offended. What did I say? Not sorry. Sorry, Charmaine. He is stating he knows about this lawyer through his own experience. Okay, so he's just an individual who has a bad experience with this lawyer who he thinks has Nancy? Is that? Owed somebody money for drugs, allegedly. What was Joe's message? Did I read it? All right. So let's watch this again under different context. He is not the lawyer. He is claiming a high-profile lawyer in Tucson took Nancy because somebody in the family owed drug money. Did I get that right, Deborah? I'm so sorry if I didn't. But let's watch it again in that context.
Fucking drug dealers, man. You know what I'm saying? He don't work for the government. He fucking takes money from people.
So how about this, James? So look, if he did it, what was his motive to get Nancy? What's his motive? Like, if you know he's a piece of shit, he's a drug dealer, what would be his motive to take Nancy?
Because one of them owed him money.
What, a family member or something?
Someone owed him money.
Someone owed him money.
I live in this fucking place, man.
Yeah.
This is my town. You know what I mean? I mean, who can figure it out? You know, like, you got my dad over there, all right? You know what I'm saying? We're trying to
That's
figure,
awesome.
we're trying to figure this
So
out.
that's what we're doing too. I'm a local. We're just trying to find her.
The lawyer didn't take Nancy, but is involved with others. So a lawyer, a high-profile lawyer, knows who took Nancy? Is that what this man is claiming? I'm really trying to get it right. I'm watching to see if you're emailing me again. I'm trying to get it right. Someone mentioned drug money at the beginning of the case. All right, let's finish it out and then we'll hear from, I don't want to call her Trumpanzee, but I want to call somebody a Trumpanzee. Joe, stop being a Trumpanzee. Obama is my guy for sure.
You can say that too, man. I hate that piece of shit.
What did he do to you? Like, how do you know him?
Yeah, what did he do to you, man?
Like, what's going on?
You know what I don't like about him?
Huh.
Because he poisons people.
How, with the
drugs?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think you should go to the police with this information. If they don't know. You said they know?
He thinks they know. I think you should probably share that.
I think we're just coming out here. Look, I brought my dad out of here. I was trying to find the reporter.
I feel sick.
No, fuck that guy, man. He's a fucking cartel fucking drug dealer, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Right.
You know? I mean, that's where if anybody knows, that's who knows.
You know anybody who has any...
Who are you here with? Are you driving?
Dad. No.
Your dad's driving?
I would have said something. So your dad, huh?
No, my dad doesn't know that.
Is it just me or does it look like he's totally looking down on JLR, like not barely even acknowledging JLR asking him questions? Is that just me?
No, he looks at JLR like he absolutely cannot stand him. In my opinion, it made me chuckle.
Yeah, like, why are you talking to me, peasant? That's how he looks at JLR. All right, let's finish this.
Your dad's driving?
I would have said something. So your dad, huh?
No, my dad doesn't know that. Been in federal prison for like 20 years.
Life happens, right?
You know what I'm saying? Life happens and shit, and I know exactly if anybody in this town knows who did it.
Is it maybe because you have a grudge on him? Maybe?
Yeah, maybe you could say.
Okay. You know, I can see how that could be.
Maybe you could say. Maybe you could say that. But no. But if anybody in this town knows where she's at,
he would not.
That's exactly no. That's exactly. How do we reach him? Call his fucking phone number.
Was he like your attorney one time or something?
No, actually not. I don't fucking have piece of shit attorneys like him. You know,
Was he? So how did you meet?
Fucking drug dealers, man.
So something I noticed is, and I noticed it the first time we watched it, but the one guy asked him, he said, "Do you have a grudge on this guy?" And he's like, "Well, you could say." And it's like, well, is that why you're spilling the, like, I don't know. I don't give it much credit, but he admits to having a grudge on the person, and he just does not seem well, mentally or physically. He's got the alcoholic sway going.
I don't think that's alcohol. I don't hate me, guys, but I want to watch it one more time. Just one more time, okay? Because I mean, truly, I just get a kick out of the way he looks at JLR, but I want to watch it one more time. Just one more time.
You know what I'm saying? He don't work for the government. He fucking takes money from people.
So how about this, James? So look, if he did it, what was his motive to get Nancy? What's his motive? Like, if you know he's a piece of shit, he's a drug dealer, what would be his motive to take Nancy?
Because one of them owed him money.
What, a family member or something? Maybe?
Someone owed him money.
Someone owed him money.
I live in this fucking place, man.
Yeah.
This is my town. You know what I mean? I mean, who can figure it out? You know, like, you got my dad over there, all right? You know what I'm saying? We're trying to
That's
figure,
awesome.
we're trying to figure
So that's what we're doing too. I'm a local. We're just trying to find her.
You can say that too, man. I hate that piece of shit.
What did he do to you? Like, how do you know him?
Yeah, what did he do to you, man?
Like, what's going on?
You know what I don't like about him?
Huh.
Because he poisons people.
How? With the
drugs.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think you should go to the police with this information. If they don't know. You said they know?
He thinks they know. I think you should probably share that.
I think we're just coming out here. Look, I brought my dad out of here. I was trying to find the reporter.
I feel sick.
No, fuck that guy, man. He's a fucking cartel fucking drug dealer, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Right.
You know? I mean, that's where if anybody knows, that's who knows.
You know anybody who has any...
Who are you here with? Are you driving?
His dad. No.
Your dad's driving?
I would have said something. So your dad, huh?
And my dad doesn't know about
JLR is gonna go missing by this guy.
Life happens and shit, and I know exactly. If anybody in this town knows who did it.
Is it maybe because you have a grudge on him? Maybe?
Yeah, maybe you could say.
Okay. You know what? I can see how that could be.
Maybe you could say. Maybe you could say that. But, no. But if anybody in this town knows where she's at,
he would not.
That's exactly no. That's exactly. How do we reach him? Call his fucking phone number.
Was he like your attorney one time or something?
No, actually not. I don't fucking have piece of shit attorneys like him. You know
Was he? So how did you meet?
Fucking drug dealers, man.
Gran, I agree with you. I don't think that this is alcohol that we're witnessing here. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it, and I don't like that I don't like that I just played it 4 times in a row, but I don't like that I was able to find it as a short so that millions of people can watch it real quick like. Any major drugs involved person is compromised in a couple of different ways. The perp could have been extorted to do a kidnapping for money. Oh, yeah, maybe. But a drug dealer can get information that most people can't sometimes. The drunk guy, I don't think it's booze. I don't think it's booze. Manic episode, I thought so. I thought so. Mr. Leahy, maybe the stare. That's the unnerving part for me that makes me think schizoaffective. Something happening there, but unstable. I mean, he didn't look he didn't if he was shooting daggers out of his eye at JLR. I don't know. I used to drink, not drinking enough water, not eating much, very wacky, especially if you drink liquor. Yeah, but you're usually slurred, and he's not slurring. He's also very preoccupied with that comb over. Good for him. Hold on to that last bit for dear life. He may be high, but he's not drunk. I agree, Gren. Unnerving to say the least. It's all good. It's all good. I think we worked it out. None of us like the video. They said they could smell alcohol on him as well. Okay. But I don't think that he's drunk. You know what I mean? Like when you're drunk, you're slurring. And I don't see slur. But I mean, whatever. I only know a handful of drunks, so all the FBI, he's a future perp. Well, if JLR goes missing, think he's drugged up. Crazy clip. Absolutely. 4 times in a row because it reminds you of your ex. Yes. I miss those days. They said they could smell alcohol on him and police came to find him. Okay. Did they take him? Yes, he was a little slurry, but it was strange. You think you never slurred, Joe. Not always. I was married to a drunk for 7 years. He was a loose cannon, but never slurred. Really. Yikes. He just wants a cheeseburger. Give him a friggin' cheeseburger. My God. Thoughts, Melissa?
I don't know. Like I said when it was playing, if JLR goes missing, somebody take a screenshot of this man when he's staring at JLR. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. But there were 2 times that he just shot daggers at JLR. Like, why are you talking to me? Just I don't know. It was funny. I don't give the man much credit, but I thought it was comical to watch him look at JLR.
Yeah, me too. It's like I said, it was like he was looking at him like, why are you speaking to me, peasant? Like, just not impressed at all. At all. Good for him, though. Good for him. Peasant. All right. Let's get back to Ashley. I think she was making some good points. What was she showing? Oh, she's behind the 8 ball, man. We did all this yesterday. I really want to get to the new info. All right. Right here. We're going to watch this for a few minutes. And then we might dip. We'll see. We need. Oh, you're tapping out? All right, that's it. We need to go then. If Ron's leaving, we're all leaving. Just kidding. Thank you for your membership and your super chat, Ron. I appreciate your support always. And I also seriously appreciate the Trumpanese or Trumpanzee. That epic. I will never forget it. I will use it consistently in my life. Okay. Ashley, let's go.
But now, again, we're into week 5. Tracy, talk to me a little bit about the methodology behind the large scale picture of how to search for Nancy Guthrie now that we are in week 4. You've mentioned something about high probability areas that should come first. What does that mean?
Yes, we certainly can't search the entire world for someone. So what we want to do is essentially focus on high probable areas first. What does that mean by high probable areas? Essentially where where the person was last seen, or any evidence or any technology that leads us to a particular area of interest. That's a high probable area, and that's where we want to focus those resources. Essentially start at ground zero and then work our way out from there.
Being that you've got a PhD in psychology and you apply that to your business of search and rescue, what does this newest news that came out about the fact that this perpetrator was casing? He was there before the night that Nancy disappeared. What does that enter into the picture in terms of how you put yourself in his shoes and then decide what may have come next?
Absolutely. In all of these situations, the motive is key here. So, what is his motive? And now that we know that he was there previously, it's obvious that he's targeted this home. And we have to figure out what his motive, not only for targeting the home, but also why that home interests him. Is it because there's a lone female that lives there by herself? Is it because it's an older female that lives by herself? Is it something inside the home that he's interested in? What is that motive? He obviously is there for a particular reason. He's targeted this home, he's reconning it, and he's certainly fully expected to come back and commit whatever crime that he had in mind.
So, putting the psychology into why someone has come in and how they have decided to come in, what can you extrapolate from that that adds to the strategy of how to search for where Nancy may have been taken?
So we have to look at, again, the motive. We can theorize what that might be, the psychological part of this, his reasoning and why he's there. So let's say, for example, he decided to stake this house to steal something. And let's theorize that maybe he was surprised by Miss Guthrie and wasn't expecting her to be there. Maybe he was staking it out to see if somebody was there, see their routine, and thinking, oh, if I come back at the house at this time, there's not going to be anybody there. But in this particular situation, unfortunately, she was there, and perhaps she surprised him. And now he's having to deal with a situation that he wasn't planning on dealing with. So now it's a matter of maybe panic. What do I do? And then just out of anxiety and adrenaline, he's dealing with a situation he had not planned for. So you have to look at from the perspective of what is he going to do with her? Where would he take her? He's in a panic. He wasn't planning on doing this. And then you have to look at the situation of just physically her medical condition, her fear, and things like that. How is he going to take care of her? Why did he take her? And in this situation, we have to theorize maybe because she could identify him. And now, again, he wasn't planning on taking her. So there's a lot of psychological situations going on in this individual that maybe he didn't plan for. And he's really going by the hip of just trying to deal with this situation and, minute by minute and day by day.
If that's the case, I mean, it certainly could be another whole theory altogether, and they abound on the internet, the theories of what may have happened and why and the motives. But I want to go back to the high probable areas, because given this news that my source has told me about, that partner agencies have been engaged now to use the signal sniffer and search in a remote area of the desert in a neighboring county using coordinates. What does that tell you?
Gosh, that would be incredible if that's the situation. That would really be a game changer in this. to be able to lead us to a specific area, to take resources there, whatever might be needed. And those resources could be varied. And let's say if she's alive, that's certainly a number of resources that we want to bring in. And unfortunately, because of the extended time frame, she's been missing now for 4 weeks. So we have to look at the possibility maybe she's not alive any longer. So now you have to bring in other resources to utilize in that situation. And again, the signal will at least pinpoint an area that we can focus on and take those resources, whatever might be needed. And again, search those areas and they'll tell us two things. They'll tell us where something is and something isn't. Is there evidence? Is Nancy there? Is there something else that will be helpful in this case to move it forward? But due to the fact that they've at least identified an area to check, that's going to be extremely helpful in this situation. And
Yeah. I'm gonna put the link to this one in the chat so you guys can go watch the whole thing. Ashley does amazing work on pretty much every case she covers. But I wanted to clarify the Trumpanese or Trumpanzee thing. I think when I say I'm going to use it all the time, it's because I am literally surrounded by far right extremist views, hillbilly redneck type out here in the West, the Wild West. And that is the perfect name for some of these people that I know. So I just, I appreciated the lighthearted humor behind something so serious. So that's all it is. I don't talk politics. And like I said, I was showing the depositions because of the Epstein files that we were covering, and it does play a role in it. So that's my reason. Maybe he's fed up with bullshit that's going on around that place. So many missing, so much crazy, along with the rest of the continent. Yeah. I feel that there was more than one involved and it was planned. Money was an issue, maybe politics or a family grudge. Could be any of the above. Absolutely, I agree. Agreed. Agreed. Thank you, Joe. No politics in chat, please. Thank you. I always thought the motive for taking Nancy was for money, not ransom money, just money. And the ransom could have been the initial intention and something went sideways. You never know. Signal sniffing, they should have tracking dogs, minimum cadaver dogs. At this point, I don't think it would hurt. Oh, there you are. Look at that. Cadaver dogs. What are your thoughts, Melissa?
So, something she said when she was talking about, she said maybe the guy was interested in something in the house or, that. I don't think that was the case. And the reason being is, yes, I agree that he cased the house, okay? Or we wouldn't have him without the backpack and without, all that. But I feel like it was targeted, but I don't think it was somebody wanting something inside the house, because if that were the case, then he would have been watching. Most burglars would watch and wait until nobody's home. And he would have had the perfect opportunity when Nancy left in an Uber to go to Annie's house, to go in if it were something that he wanted inside the home. What he wanted inside the home, in my opinion here, is Nancy. The question is, for what reason? And I don't think she was taken because necessarily she could identify him, but for whatever, there's a specific reason. And when we find that reason, it'll all make sense, essentially, as much as it can.
But I think it's a good possibility and a good point that she was taken because she could identify him, and maybe they originally had no interest in ending her life. Like I don't know. I don't know. but I don't think it should be discounted, you know? I don't know. Continue. I'm sorry I interrupted. I just wanted because I'll forget stuff if I don't say it. And I don't know spare time. I don't know. None of the stuff that I pulled up real quick said so. We can dig into it next time, but I don't know. But please, Melissa, please continue your thoughts.
So I understand that, yes, they may have taken her because she could identify him. I can get that, but that wasn't the only reason, right? He went there when he knew somebody was home. Look at the time he went, in the middle of the night. It wasn't when she was at church the next day or when she was at Annie's house earlier in the day, right? He went when somebody would be home, would be asleep, would have her hearing aids out so she wouldn't hear as well. Like, I feel like this was very planned in the fact of, well, we want to go when she's there, but we want to go at night when she's not up and moving around the home, when she's in bed asleep, her hearing aids are out. We've got a better chance of getting in, definitely more than one person. But I really don't think it was he wanted something inside of the home. What he wanted inside of the home was Nancy, in my opinion.
I agree. I mean, what are the reasons to take an 84-year-old woman? I mean, it's baffling. Truly is. Russell said, could she be around the neighborhood and the reason they can't find anything, maybe the person burned it? Did anyone smell something burning or see smoke going out of the chimney? It's a good point. Hopefully
I
law
think that would have been
enforcement.
noticed.
Would it though? Like, I mean, if it was just in a fireplace or something inside the house, which is absolutely horrifying to think. But
I mean, if
Arizona is copper and other metals now and uranium in the past. The blood was there already before? Don't think so. Was it? I don't know. I don't think they should make it a criminal and not missing. It's been too long. I think they should make it criminal and not missing. No burning in 90-degree weather. It wasn't 90 degrees though when she went missing. It was not 90 degrees. It in Arizona, January, February, it can get dang cold. Not like dang cold like us, but for the area, like when I was there, I swear to God, I saw snowflakes in the air in February 2 years ago. Swear to God. Modern high-end safes are tough to crack, delayed open. Law enforcement took the safe from the house. Yvette, good to see you. Those stocks are surging right now. Maybe he tried and could not open it. Does get cold at night. He was there 40 something minutes in the house, but took nothing. Do we know for sure that he took nothing? Because I believe it was Savannah who they took in through the garage the other day. I don't know that they took nothing. But not during the day. They were all sweating out there covering the story. True enough. Fair enough. But I would think, and I don't know how many places in Arizona would have a wood burning fireplace, but if they're burning at night, which I mean, let's not even go there.
But has anybody here ever smelled a burning body? Like, if you're saying that this person took Nancy that was close by and burnt her body, if that's what I'm understanding, like, first of all, that would have been noticed because of the smoke. Because you have to burn a body for at an extremely high temperature, for one, for an extended period of time. So, like 14 to 1600 degrees for several hours. Okay, so you're not talking just threw somebody on a burn pit and they're gone in 30 minutes. That's not how it works. And that smell, if you've ever lived either next to a crematory or ever smelt burnt flesh, if you've been on a fire department, that is a very distinct smell that one you never forget, but it seeps into everything. And it's just not something that I just don't think that would happen. It would have been noticed. Law enforcement was there too quick. They would have smelt it. They would have seen smoke. They went to these neighbors' houses. They went door to door. You know, they searched the area. I just don't see that that is something that could have been done. I mean, nothing's off the table. Of course, everything's possible, but I don't think in all reality that that's what happened.
Yeah, that's fair. Wouldn't they say if jewelry was taken or valuables that could be spotted at pawn shops? So my thoughts are that because I think we're all in agreement that Sheriff Nanos didn't do right at the very beginning. And if indeed that was Savannah going in there to see if anything had been stolen, and you tell me, Marie, you might know better than I would, wouldn't it make more sense for them to hold that back in the hopes that somebody does try to sell it or post online? Um, you know what I mean? Incinerator. I have never had the pleasure of smelling burning flesh. Evidence got burned. Twisted. Oh, the chat's covering you. I wasn't aware that I didn't know that I had the chat on the screen. I apologize. Um, so Melissa's channel link is pinned to the top of the comments. Please go, if you haven't already, sub to her backup channel. We're still fighting to get her old channel back, but Charmaine, lots of suburban houses in Arizona have fireplaces for romantic reasons. Aw. Aw. Look at Dylan Millard. It's not possible. Fine jewelry doesn't get pawned. Crooked jewelry dealers buy it, removes the gems, sell, melt the gold. Interesting. Well, we're at 2.5 hours, guys. I think that this was pretty good. We had not much new information, but it's good to discuss the stuff that comes up. We're still 5 weeks in. It's too long, but if we look at the big picture and how cases usually go, it's good to have hope. And let's just hope that Nancy is still alive. She's being taken care of and she can be brought home. In any condition, hopefully she comes home alive and well. If not, hopefully she's brought home so she can be laid to rest properly for her family. Good point, but at least it would be a quicker way to get him on CCTV elsewhere without a mask. Absolutely. But that's my point, why you would hold that back in hopes that they would do something. But I just got here. Handsome man, I saw you earlier. It's been 2.5 hours, man. Maybe his voice, if any was used, she recognized and knew him. Yeah, like tell me, you guys, what reasons are there to remove an 84-year-old woman from her house in the middle of the night? You tell me. I'll give you guys a few more minutes here just to see what you think. What are some of the reasons? What are some of the reasons that an 84-year-old woman would be taken out of her bed, stolen in the middle of the night? This isn't a child. This isn't a trafficking situation where, you know, somebody's taken for that reason or for I don't even know if you'd call it sweatshops or anything like that. Doesn't get cold anymore. It's money and a family grudge. I swear, I swear. Just playing, Joe. Don't take me serious most times. I think there's a few people in chat that we can't take serious 90% of the time. Revenge. Nancy herself was the target. It's possible. Sex trafficking. Can't see it. I'm not elder shaming or anything like that, but I can't see it. They're not the hot commodity in that market. Unfortunately, sadly, children are the ones who are the main targets, young women and boys. Absolutely. 84 years old, guys. There's only so many reasons. Maybe she is a good religious woman and they took her home, hoping Nancy will teach them how to pray and be a good godly person. Well, that's thinking outside the box. It's kind of Norman Beatty, but that is kind of twisted, but it's also probably the best case scenario. Revenge. Bring me back, Javelina, on your trip, please. What's a Javelina? Or took Nancy to teach how to cook nice food. Again, thinking outside the box. Staying positive. You need to work in a nursing home, Charmaine? No. Why? Why? I don't like that idea. No shade. I don't like that idea. Reporting PH for stealing money. Damn right. Lots of sex going on in there. Definitely outside the box, but positive. It's positive. It's guilty confession. When Jack and Lily went missing after the first, or no, sorry, it wasn't Jack and Lily. It was Sebastian Rogers. I thought maybe a neighbor or somebody at the school or something felt bad for him and had him close by. I also like to look at the other side of the rainbow some days when things get too dark. I think the answer is staring at us and everyone is missing it. I don't think we're missing it, and I think I know what you're talking about. I just I don't know how they can connect those dots. Oh, the Pumbas everywhere. I'm not stealing one of those. I go to jail. In an American jail. No, thank you. No, thank you. There it is. Pumbaa. That's wild that those things are just roaming around, eh?
Yeah, it was walking around Nancy's neighborhood like it owned it.
Somebody had photos or a video of like a mama Pumbaa with babies. Adorable, but apparently they're dinner. Gren, go wait in the car. Oh, no. Did this really happen? I don't think it's a hoax. Just like the Lily and Jack case, the RCMP knows more than we do, just like the FBI does in this case. Yeah. And I think, honestly, I think the FBI knows a whole lot more than Sheriff Nanos knows as well. Positive thinking is a good thing. It means there's still good people in this world, right? Javelinas will attack you if you mess with the young. That's it. or if they're rabid. Terrifying. You want one? Come to Arizona. And just so you know, like, airfare is not cheap, so I won't be checking a bag. I'll be having my personal item in my carry-on, so I won't be able to smuggle one back for you because I'm not paying for extra baggage for check bags. Not doing that. Yes, but I don't roast pumbas. I like my ham, bacon. I've seen a pig roast, biker rallies and stuff like that, but not a pumba. Not one of those. I would too. I would too. Nano said they are close to solving the case. Nancy is cooking nice food for the perpetrator. Hope so. I'm not going to Arizona. The hell with that. Creepy there at night. Well, we cannot go anywhere at night. I don't want to be bit by a rattlesnake or anything. There are lots of mountain lions here too. I teach safety courses for that kind of stuff. I'm more scared of a rattlesnake than I am of a mountain lion. Have faith in nanos? Why? Greasy meat, not preferred. What are they called here? They're called something here, and my ex used to hunt them. Oh, never mind. Wild boar. Terrible. Do I look like I own snake boots, Gren? Just saying. Melissa, any final thoughts?
No, not really.
Okay, so then like I said earlier today, but I'll tell you all because there's 222 people here. I get to go see my grandbabies tomorrow. Super excited. I will do a live on possibly Thursday evening, definitely Friday, definitely Saturday from Lethbridge. Can't promise the time. And I will return home on Sunday back to our regular, probably 2 lives a day schedule. And I'll let y'all know. I'll keep y'all posted about my trip to Tucson if it's going to happen. If it's not, set up a GoFundMe for a rubber suit. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know that I'd wear it in public though. I'm just staying away from wherever rattlesnakes are in sandals. That's just all. Thank you, Deborah. That's very nice of you. Thank you. It's very generous. I haven't seen my grandkids since Christmas, and I'm jonesing. I'm jonesing. It's time. When they start asking me, when are you coming? I know it's time to go. So, thank you so much, Deborah. Again, that's very generous of you. Ron Mexico, Marie, what the hell? That's crazy. Thank you so much. And Ron for becoming a new member. And again, to Deborah, if you haven't subbed to Melissa, please go and do that. It's just a backup channel. We will get her old channel back, hopefully. Oh, I look forward to chatting with you. What is your name? You going to search for Nancy? I am considering going to Tucson. My name is Charmaine. I was invited there by Mark the Shark and Alex and maybe JLR. Travel around with those big boys for a little while, for a few days, see if there's anything like a girl's perspective on things. I don't know. I don't know. Never done that before. I will do it in the summertime, like here, Darius McDougal. I do plan on going down there and live streaming. But I want to do it. I want to do it. And there's no reason why I shouldn't do it. I have a passport. I could do it. Mm, Well, either way, Gren, I try my best to treat my mods half decent. You're not slaves to me. You're my friends. You're my team. We'll all be successful together. I don't know, but tell JLR I want his red suit signed and autographed. Maybe I'll just buy one and get him to autograph it for you. You must let me meet you. I'm 2 hours from Tucson. Are you in Mesa or 2 hours the other way? 2 hours the other way, you're in Mexico, so you must be. Or Nevada? No. California? No. Texas? No. Maybe. Maybe Texas. Trying to remember. I know you've said before. But anyways, definitely Phoenix. Really? Phoenix. I was in Phoenix 2 years ago. What? That's twisted. I'll just tell him to start an OnlyFans for you. Okay? Okay? My mods are the backbone of this entire channel. I'm telling you right now. Okay. I know Mesa is a part of Phoenix. I stayed in Mesa. I actually flew into Mesa. I was in Gilbert. We had a nice B&B with a pool and a hot tub and everything. I was there. I saw it. Went to the zoo and everything. Anyways, all right. I'm sorry, Melissa. I'm babbling now. But I'll keep everybody posted if that's going to happen. Kind of in a transitional stage. I'm about to go back to BC at the end of the month, so it has to be before that. Because hopefully, if it's not before that, Nancy will be found. So, do you know what I'm saying? So, we'll work it out. First things first, grandbabies. So, Melissa, anything? I'm sorry, anything at all?
I would normally say no, but Marie, you're about to make me puke. So, bleh. No. She wants JLR's jockstrap signed.
Harley is telling me it's time to go, Mom. You've been on long enough. It's time to put me outside. He's so old. It's his birthday next week. He's 9 next week. Hello, baby. Hello, my handsome boy. He's a good boy. All right. All right. Let's go. We will definitely talk soon. Everybody, come crash on the couch with me and my mom, cat, dog, 9 guinea pigs. I'd love to. That'll save me some money. All right, guys. Have a great night. Thanks for being here. Thank you for everything. And we will see you. Joe. All right. Go wait in the car. All right. Good night, everybody. Say good night, Harley. Good night, Harley.